Hiya, Barbie.
Hi, Ken.
You want to go do a podcast?
Sure.
Jump in.
Ladies and gentlemen, Barbies and Kens, Chelseas of all ages, and everyone else, welcome to Binging Barbie, a Barbie movie podcast. I'm your host, Jay, and with me I have my wonderful co-host. You better get back to class. Daddy's got some business to take care of. John!
So who's the daddy in this situation?
I do not know. I just thought that line was very odd.
Yeah, it's even more odd with this conversation. Yeah, Barbie!
Yeah, this is for those of you just joining us, we are a podcast about Barbie movies, and every week we watch one of the animated Barbie movies and talk about its story, characters, animation, voice acting, and music. And this week we'll be talking about the 39th animated Barbie movie, Barbie Big City, Big Dreams.
Oh,
The big 39 here.
Big 39. Big city, big dreams.
Yep.
What
Yeah,
a title.
indeed. It's not the worst title. I like it.
hmm
Before we dive in, I did want to say, about a week ago, as of this episode's release, there was a new Barbie trailer for the Greta Gerwig Barbie film, and we didn't record a reaction because we've recorded 2 reactions to previous trailers, so we kind of felt it would be a bit redundant. But
Especially to go very in depth like we used to and just ruin the film even more. So just let me forget what I watched and then let's just watch the film. You know?
yeah, we did get more story details, and I like the trailer.
Yeah, it was the story's pretty much what we thought.
Yep. Yeah. I also read a bit. Margot Robbie had a piece in, I think, Vogue. That
Spoilers.
was, yeah. I'm not going to say much from it, but it made me more excited for the movie than I already was, which I already was very excited.
Okay.
So yeah, coming up very, very soon.
Very, very soon.
And in anticipation of that, we have Barbie Big City, Big Dreams.
Yeah, it's practically the same film.
I mean, yeah, I don't know how similar they will end up being, but sure. This was released September 1st, 2021. So quite recent. It was directed by Scott Pladle Pierce, who he's an animation director, worked on several recent Bob the Builder iterations, as well as the Barbie It Takes Two TV show, which is a spin-off of Big City Big Dreams. Have you looked into It Takes Two at all?
No, I've not even watched Dreamhouse Adventures.
Yeah.
I know the show.
Yeah. I watched the first maybe 5 episodes after watching this movie just to kind of get a feel for it, and it is like a direct spin-off of this movie.
Nice.
So I don't know how much I will be able to distinguish between the show and the movie in this episode,
Okay.
because they kind of blend together. Because
Nice.
it's literally the show starts and it's like the Barbies are concocting this plan to get their parents to let them stay together in New York for the school year,
Oh,
like at the
okay.
end of the summer, and then it just goes
Nice.
from there. And it's the exact same animation, the exact same locations. Every character's wearing the exact same outfits. So if I mention something that happens in this movie and it doesn't actually happen in this movie, it probably happened in the TV show.
Probably, yeah.
But yeah, anyway, this was written by Christopher Keenan and Kate Splain. And Keenan, he's actually interesting. His He's a prolific producer of kids TV, especially like the Thomas and Friends, various different shows and spin-offs, and then a bunch of Barbie projects. He produced the Dreamhouse Adventures and It Takes Two. So kind of a figure who's been sort of behind the scenes as like an executive producer on quite a bit of this stuff, but is just now doing the writing. And then Kate Splain, this is her only credit on IMDb,
Hmm.
so not really sure what she does besides write Barbie, Big City, Big Dreams. But
It's probably a
yeah,
story idea.
yeah, I'm curious because we have two people, one who doesn't have any other credits and one who doesn't have many other writing credits.
Hmm.
So I am curious what the situation behind the scenes is. But obviously we don't have much information for that. We do know that the score was done by Daniel Rojas, who's a TV composer. He worked on, biggest credit to his name is Kippo and the Age of Wonder Beasts, the Netflix DreamWorks show.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you listen to the soundtrack, it sounds very similar to the Big City, Big Dreams,
Ah,
sort of the poppy, upbeat.
why were you listening?
Oh, I was just curious to see what his other work sounded like.
All right.
But yeah, the story for Big City Big Dreams is Barbie is spending the summer at the Handler Arts Academy in New York City. This is a fictional academy. Do you know what this is in reference to?
Um. I would assume Juilliard.
Well, yes. I mean who the academy is named after.
Handler. I'd assume.
Yes, Ruth Handler, who is
Ah,
the
Ruth.
creator
Yeah.
of Barbie.
Yeah.
So, little Easter egg there.
Of course.
But yeah, Barbie arrives a day early and runs into another student who coincidentally is also named Barbie Roberts.
Oh.
And so they decide to call each other Malibu and Brooklyn so they don't get confused. And that's, I think, how we're gonna proceed this episode. Though I might refer to Malibu as Barbie because that's who I knew as Barbie first. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, they are both Barbie, and because the dorms are assigned alphabetically, they are actually sharing a room,
Very nice.
and they very quickly become friends.
As you do with the same name.
Yep. They also meet Rafa, who's a costume designer, and Emily, who's an internet celebrity who's trying to keep a low profile. And she sort of knew Brooklyn as a kid, but then they kind of fell apart. And Emily's
Yeah.
manager is the reason for that. Her manager is also her father, and he plans to ensure that Emily will win this prestigious spotlight solo that the Academy gives out, where they give one student the chance to perform
Where have I
at
heard this
Times
plot
Square.
before?
Very much Rockin' Royals.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's like so much Rockin' Royals.
And other stuff too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely inspired by. But yeah,
All of those classic stuff. It's Camp Rock.
yeah,
It's Victorious. It is Rock and Royals again. But continuing on with the story.
yeah. They're while dancing for fun on stage, Malibu accidentally knocks into Brooklyn, and Brooklyn falls in the orchestra pit and sprains her ankle.
Mm,
But the dean calls Malibu to her office and says that a witness claimed that she pushed Brooklyn in order to eliminate her competition.
yeah.
So Malibu is expelled immediately,
Mm,
and she and Brooklyn have a falling out. Brooklyn apparently believes that maybe it was intentional
uh-huh.
in one of the odder character decisions
Oh
in this
yes.
movie.
Oh
We'll we'll,
yes.
we'll talk about it
We'll
later.
talk about that. We will.
But yeah, then Rafa, who happened to be videoing the incident, shows the video to Emily, and they realize that it was actually an accident, and that the witness of this accident was Emily's father, the one
Who could
who,
have thought?
yeah. So he's intentionally sabotaging apparently Emily's biggest competition. I don't know. They don't get much into the competition
They just
aspect.
Oh, and yeah, this third act is so
Very very rushed. They're missing scenes.
yeah, they're missing the whole 10 minutes.
But yeah, the principal or the dean sees this video and she's like, okay, Malibu can come back. So Brooklyn flies to Malibu to speak to Malibu and is like, hey, you can come back. And Malibu's like, okay. And then so Malibu goes back to her house, which is the same house from Dreamhouse Adventures. And I saw it, I was like, oh, it's the house from Dreamhouse Adventures. And I was like, wait a second, I don't like Dreamhouse Adventures. Why am I excited? So I think at this point I've just been like ground down.
Hmm.
I think I haven't watched many movies that aren't Barbie in the last 2 months, and I haven't watched any TV that isn't Barbie in the
So
last
you
two
saw
months.
something that was familiar and got excited about it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So anyway, Malibu and Brooklyn go back, and they are announced that they are the winners of the spotlight because someone made the rule of it is that they can only have one name on the marquee, and so
Yeah.
since they share the same name, they can both win.
Hmm.
And they perform together, and the end.
The end. Ah, man. It's so disappointing. It's so disappointing because it starts out pretty decent.
Yeah,
I enjoy this type of thing. It's like, we're gonna go out. It's like a typical fun summer camp rock thing. We're gonna make some friends. The conflict is just gonna be the competition, but no.
yeah. It definitely has solid bones, but yeah, there's some connective tissue missing to really
Mm-hmm.
make it come together, and some character decisions that are a bit odd.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, the things that I noticed, it really could have used just a slightly longer runtime because there's certain story beats that don't happen or happen off screen. Specifically, what happens to Emily's father?
Yeah.
Because Emily confronts her father and is like, "Why did you do this?
It's like, I
You're
did it
you're
for
mean."
you.
And
And then
then
she
she's like, "I
walks
didn't want to
away.
win." She walks away, and then we never see her father again. And she's in like two more scenes.
Right.
There's no,
She's also the one who announces
yes,
who the winners are. So
yeah,
the father gets his wishes anyway.
yeah. Unless she fired him, but there is a scene of her firing him. There
No.
isn't even a throwaway line of, "Oh, I fired him."
We don't even see the father again.
No,
There's no remorse. He's just there grumpy in his car.
yeah. And then, yeah, the whole spotlight solo is introduced in the movie, and it's the entire motivation for Emily's B plot. But there's no clear sense of why the Barbies win the spotlight solo. Like, there's no audition for it. There's no like tracking. The competition is not a competition. We never get a sense of any progress being made or not made.
We just know that they show up again and they win.
Yeah. Like, what if they had a scoreboard? Because they have a lot of montages of like, what if they had a scoreboard and like names are going up and down the scoreboard and
Another montage
Malibu.
would have been fine.
Well, it doesn't need to be a montage. I've tried to integrate it
But
in,
this one would
but
work as a
yeah,
montage for
yeah,
sure.
just like something to make it clear why they, out of all of the people in the school, win the
Yeah.
spotlight solo. Because we know as the audience, it's either going to be the Barbies or Emily.
And Emily doesn't even
But
want to do it,
yeah,
so
but why is it them and not unnamed extra number 3 from scene 12? There's no sense of that.
it's because they're the main characters.
Yeah, essentially. And that's maybe a good thing to get into my main criticism of the movie,
Hmm.
which is I think this is a plot driven story that's trying to be a character driven story.
Hmm.
Because so character driven stories, it's all about You get a bunch of characters, you put them together, and the conflict arises from these characters interacting with each other.
Right.
Whereas a plot driven story is you have a plot, you have an end goal in mind, and then the characters act on forces that are interacting with them as they go to that plot.
Mm-hmm.
And this one definitely sets up to be character driven because we have four main characters who are, we get a sense for who they are and how they interact with each other. But then things just kind of happen for the plot. Like this is my whole thing with Brooklyn's blowout with Malibu,
Oh,
is that doesn't feel like something in line with her character. That feels very plot driven.
yeah. My goodness, just all the conflicts that showed up brought down this film for me.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no, like the film was going fine. It's like, oh yeah, it's fine. Yeah, they're learning, they're getting better at this thing. Then the father shows up, and he's like, ah, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's gonna be this type of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, seen it before, but it's fine. Then Malibu gets framed, and it's like, this type of story. Okay, I don't like that, but okay, we're fine. And then, of course, Brooklyn has to do the forced friendship. I trusted you. Were you really my friend? Oh, and their friendship breaks out of nowhere. And it's just like, this storyline again. Like, I don't like any of them by themselves, but you put
Yeah.
all three of them together. Oh, oh, I disliked a lot
And
of that.
not just put all three of them together, put them together haphazardly enough that none of them are fully, we don't get the full story for any of them.
No, and it gets resolved in like a scene.
Not even it gets resolved in between scenes.
Yeah. I mean, Emily has a conversation, a quote unquote conversation with Brooklyn, and
Yeah.
Brooklyn changes her mind apparently. What I hated about Barbie getting framed is that every time stories do those framing ideas, is that they make the authority figures so dumb and incompetent at their jobs. It's like
Yeah.
she's just told by this guy that this happened. And she doesn't even think to follow up with the person it happened to, or like there's 100 other witnesses in that room. Some on stage,
Yeah. Yeah.
some in the audience that saw what happened as well. Plus, there was a recording. She doesn't even think to ask anyone else first before banishing Barbie. And like when someone else tells her, "No, that didn't happen," she's like, "Oh no, you're in denial." Like,
Yeah.
what the heck is that?
And I mean, to be
Is this
fair,
elementary school? What
yeah,
is this?
the witness was a member of the board, so I think the dean was thinking her hands were tied. But then convincing Brooklyn that Malibu actually intentionally sabotaged her just doesn't make any sort of sense.
Emily didn't even try to defend Malibu.
No. And also, like, yeah, it just, you could have the dean be sympathetic and be like, well, I really want to keep Malibu here because I believe her, but it's a board member and that's our funding and yada yada yada. You could make that the conflict rather than
Oh no,
her believing,
she just wants to
yeah,
get up on the competition. Like she just
yeah.
assumes all this. And Barbie,
And
Malibu
Brooklyn
this entire time is
like believes it.
remorseful, and
Yeah.
Brooklyn has no reason to believe it, even though Malibu has been remorseful this entire time.
Yeah. It's such an odd decision to take the story, and it really makes it clear that no, they haven't built the story around these characters. They're trying to fit the characters into this story.
Uh huh.
And so you have to this is the classic, it happens in so many, especially kids movies.
Oh yeah.
I think Scoob, the recent Scooby-Doo movie that actually came out 2021, just like this movie, maybe it was 2020, I don't
Some
remember.
time
It
ago.
was it was it was not good, and they had the same thing of okay, well now Scooby and Shaggy have to have a falling out because that's what the plot mandates. It's like that can work if it's set up well. But so many of these movies don't set that up well, and this one doesn't set it up well because we meet Brooklyn and we see her character throughout the movie, and the actions she takes are not in line with how that character has been set up.
And Emily's also just kind of in the background.
Yeah.
Like, we start off with an interesting idea of her hiding who she is, but then we never really touch up on that again.
Even the idea of her and Brooklyn having this past relationship, like you can mine something interesting from that. Like, what if, because Brooklyn pretty much immediately forgives her after figuring out that it was okay, it's Emily's father who broke
And it's like
off
the first 20
contact.
minutes that this
Yeah.
is resolved.
Which, that's a good thing, I think, to have Brooklyn be like, no, you're fine, we're friends again. But what if throughout the movie Emily still feels guilty about it? Because then you can have conflict. And it's conflict of not Brooklyn is rejecting a friend. It's now conflict of this friend is feeling guilty about something that happened in the past that isn't an issue for Brooklyn,
Mm-hmm.
but is just kind of like anguishing in it. And you could have her do something out of like, have Emily do something like odd, and then Brooklyn confronts her and she's like, oh, I feel so guilty for what happened, and Brooklyn can give her a cathartic moment of being like, no, that was in the past and I understand it wasn't your fault, rather than just kind of introducing that and then immediately resolving it.
Mm-hmm. And of course, a lot of it comes down to this is an hour than the typical hour, 10 minutes gonna
Yeah.
get. So usually the 10 minutes that we have for these type of things just don't happen.
Yeah. Yeah, this is more than any of the other recent ones would have benefited from
Mm-hmm.
extra time. And for the other recent Barbie movies, I feel like the runtime has been helpful because they don't really have a story to fill out a full 70 minutes.
Yeah.
But this one does. It could probably fill out even more than 70 minutes. But
Probably, yeah.
and I kind of wonder if some of those scenes that we're talking about were just kind of left on the cutting room floor.
I don't think Brooklyn needed to fly all the way to Malibu to get Barbie.
I mean, that's the rom-com thing.
A phone call would have done the same thing. It's like, hey, you're back.
That's the big gesture.
What was what was that thing that said it's not too late to get Malibu back, but she's all the way back in Malibu now. So what's not too late? I always thought they were gonna go to the airport or something, or
Yeah.
stop the taxi cab guy who
Yeah.
was grumbling in the beginning, and then once they stopped, he's like very nice to Barbie now.
Yeah. Yeah, bring that character back. Something. Anything.
Something that just let's just go to Malibu
Yeah.
for a scene.
The airport thing would probably be too much of like
To-
rom-com.
It would be, but that's what they were setting up.
Yeah. Have it not be, oh, my mom is conveniently a pilot, which I do think the reveal of that is kind of funny. But
Explains why she was in Australia and Mexico and
yeah,
all the other
yeah, because
places.
you hear about this and you're like, what's going on with her mom? And
Uh-huh.
oh, she's a pilot. Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, it's just unfortunate that this wasn't as well executed as it could have been,
Yeah.
and that they lost sight of the characters to try and fit it to a plot
Mm-hmm.
rather than sort of, because like, yeah, as you were saying, the first little bit of it is fun,
Yeah.
and it even in some ways actually reminded me of like Greta Gerwig's Frances Ha,
Mm.
which is also set in New York and also starts with two friends and like having fun together. And that one actually has a breakup in the friendship that feels organic because um Greta Gerwig and director Noah Baumbach set it up because they have that idea of where it's going and they're good at writing characters to make the actions seem realistic. Whereas here it's just like it's happening because that's what happens in these kinds of movies, and it doesn't matter if it fits the characters or not.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I still liked the story overall in
I,
some ways.
yeah, I liked it until we got to the conflicts,
Yeah. So
and then
yeah,
it just went down. Yeah.
I gave it a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, it would have been a 3.5 or 3.8, but yeah, those conflicts, all three of them, brought it way down for me.
Yeah. It could have been just another 10 minutes or longer added and more
Or a
character
different
focus.
conflict.
Yeah. More a conflict more rooted in the characters rather than
What
the
if
plot.
Brooklyn actually couldn't do anything with her leg?
Yeah. Then you could even have them performing together be like a necessity as well as a. But yeah, anyway, on to the characters. We have Malibu Barbie, who's the character we know. She's been pretty consistent since before Dolphin
Although,
Tale.
I feel like she's so underpowered in this one.
Yeah,
Like
they
she
make her clumsier and less.
she has to relearn ballet. I thought she already knew ballet. Those could just be other Barbies before as
Yeah,
well. But like she's very clumsy in this. Uh whereas
good.
before she's also just competent and just flipping around and doing stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And in the Life in the Dreamhouse TV show, this is definitely a different, subtly different characterization than that. But yeah, there is that aspect of her being less competent at certain things, and like I think it creates a good contrast between her and Brooklyn.
And that's the main reason why they do it,
Yeah,
is to create the contrast plus also bring some conflict later on. But it doesn't work for the established character because this is the established character
yes,
from the shows and the films before,
yeah.
and it doesn't work.
Which I'm kind of the mentality of I'd rather they go for the interesting thing than the consistent thing, like 9 times out of 10, or maybe
Mm.
8 times out of 10. I like consistency, but I also like things being more interesting.
Yeah,
But
but like
it is
when
a
it's interesting at the detriment of the character,
yeah.
then that's when I don't like it.
You can tell they're rebooting here a little, like a soft reboot.
Sure, yeah, and we know that Brooklyn stays in like afterwards, so.
Yeah. Now, my favorite thing about Malibu is that the vlogging is gone. No more vlogging.
But she calls her friends and family.
Yes. But those are
Ugh,
different than a
she
vlog.
calls her friends and families. What kind of poser is she?
Yeah, those scenes actually struck me as like a, because this was released 2021, so presumably being written like late 2020, early 2021.
Yeah.
So a lot of that struck me as like, oh, this is how a lot of kids interact with their family for like 2 years or a year and a half.
Hmm.
So the whole like video call thing, I thought it was an interesting element. Not like super interesting, but just like, oh, that's something that kids will be familiar with. And I think it's a better alternative to the vlogging. Because
Yeah.
the issue I have with the vlogging is that there's no response to it.
She's
There's no
just
back and
vlogging.
forth. Yeah. And also in the Dreamhouse Adventures show, the structure of the show is that the narrative pauses every 5 minutes so that Barbie can give some pithy remark about what's going on to her vlog.
Hmm.
So I was very happy when this did not open with vlogging.
But she mentions her vlog,
Yeah.
and apparently her vlog is not as popular as previously stated. She had
the
royalty on her vlog.
yeah, the Princess Adventure really complicates because they try to do, there's like a soft reboot at some point where Barbie goes from world famous actress to like mid-tier vlogger, and then they just kind of forget that Princess Adventure happened and that
I
she
get.
got 1 billion concurrent viewers.
Uh huh. She's a one hit wonder.
Apparently. Yeah. Now I do kind of feel like the cameos from her friends are a bit unnecessary,
Yeah.
and it's something that they carry into the TV show. I think it's because the characters, the friends are important to Dreamhouse Adventures, but here it's like this is a new life for Barbie in New York. Why can't we just cut off ties with Malibu and just focus on New York? I
Right.
mean, I get why, but
To remind people this is the same
yeah.
Barbie. Look, this is her friends. You recognize them?
Look, it's Renee. I think
Ugh.
it might honestly be that they just have like less diversity of the characters in, as in there are fewer characters overall, because Dreamhouse Adventures Barbie has like 15 friends and each one is a different, like,
Thing.
yeah, each character is a different race or ethnicity or body type, um whereas here it's really just the four characters, so you
Mm-hmm.
bring back these other characters to still have that diversity, um but unfortunately they aren't actually characters, they're just people who Barbie talks to somewhat interchangeably. But yeah, anyway, I think Malibu here is interesting,
Sure.
but they, if they had built the conflict around her and Brooklyn's character rather than just going for the standard plot, I think that would have helped.
Probably would have.
So yeah, speaking of Brooklyn, we have Brooklyn Barbie up next.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, she's just such a good foil for Malibu Barbie.
Sure. She's got. I don't want to say the street smarts, but like she's unfazed by the New York culture that Barbie is
Yeah.
so shocked by. Like
Yeah.
nothing phases Brooklyn. Like she's ready for anything.
Yeah. And it gives them this dynamic of, you understand why they have this connection
Right.
beyond just that they have the same name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have tons of chemistry together. Um this is actually a very common ship in the fandom, is Barbie and Barbie,
Of course.
because yeah, they're great together. Probably the most I've seen shipping in these movies sit in like the letterboxed reviews since
Well,
like Diamond Castle or something.
well, of course, they're both Barbies. Why not?
Yeah, and they get a lot of time together.
Right.
We actually, because like Rock and Royals, you could imagine those two characters in a relationship, but they don't spend much time together. Whereas here, it's like that's the entire movie, is them interacting and being friends
Right.
until the whole ankle gate.
Anklegate.
Yeah, that's what I'll call it now, or drum gate.
Okay. That's not technically a drum, but okay.
Yeah, the distrust that Brooklyn suddenly has for Malibu, it just doesn't fit her character at
A little
all.
forced, yeah. Yeah,
Like,
especially like she was defending Malibu hard and then
yeah,
quickly switched her tune.
yeah. Like I'm not entirely sure what conflict you have instead of that, but you need to do either something else or just not have a conflict between them.
Or just have like a thing where Brooklyn and Emily have to face off against the father.
Yeah, that's
Not
better.
and our Barbie is on her way home. It's a race against time.
Yeah.
Something too contrived, but still more interesting than just, oh, we found the footage and there we go. We're done.
Yeah. If Brooklyn believes Malibu and it's like, "Oh, we now have to prove her innocent." That's a good change to it even. Cuz
Mm-hmm.
the conflict is now not the characters clashing, but instead them clashing with the situation they're in. And
Mm-hmm.
that just gives Brooklyn more integrity as a character. So yeah, but I think besides that, she's a really good character.
Yeah, she's fun. She's a fine character, yeah.
Now, next up, I have Emily,
Emily.
who she's kind of a combination of two tropes.
The Hannah Montana.
Yeah, the famous person who's hiding out, and then also the overbearing stage parent.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was thinking of like the BoJack Horseman, Sarah Lynn
Ah, okay.
thing, but that's also just a thing that happens in real life.
Yeah.
Um, where you have parents who are suddenly making money off their kids and who take that very very seriously. And
So any beauty pageant.
yep, that's a common place to find those sort of like stage moms and stage dads.
Or theater camps.
Yep. I mean, pretty much anywhere where a kid is potentially more successful than their parent, and their
Yeah,
parent
that's
sees that as like a, I don't know, child stars are weird in the first place.
right.
Like, there's part of me that's like, should we be letting kids be actors and performers?
But at the same time, if all of our stuff don't have kids, it's like, what happened to all the kids in these
Yeah,
worlds?
yeah. So
But
yeah,
you know what? We just really need to have these kids go to Chuck E. Cheese. You know, where a kid can be a kid.
yeah. It's interesting. I've been a different podcast I listened to called Blank Check is doing a series on Buster Keaton, who was, I think, as early as like 3 years old,
Ooh,
was
doing
working
stunts.
Yes, he was known as the kid who couldn't be damaged.
Ah,
Like, his dad would use him as a mop on stage
oh,
as like a 5 year old,
interesting.
and it was like they were like a not very successful vaudeville show, and then as soon as Buster Keaton started doing things, it was like suddenly they were super popular, and it was very clear that it was because of Buster.
Man, vaudeville. Those were the
Yeah.
days.
Yeah, back in the early 1900s
Yeah,
when
back when just telling a story could get people to come in and cheer.
yeah. Now what the Keatons were doing, they was more of like stunts, and but yeah, the whole stage parent, which his parents seem to have been like, besides his dad's drinking, which was a problem later on,
Hmm.
seem to have treated him well. But the overbearing stage parent idea is something you can mine a lot of interesting story out of. But Emily just doesn't get any time to be a fully fleshed out character.
I guess a modern example would be Jeanette McCurdy from iCarly.
Okay.
I don't know if you know.
No, I'm not aware of.
Okay. Well, for those who know, you know. But moving on.
Yeah. Um, Emily as a character just doesn't have much to do besides what the plot needs her to do.
Right.
And like she has this potentially interesting subplot of her dad really wants her to win and she doesn't really care about it.
Hmm.
But that gets kind of resolved in a very perfunctory way.
Meaning they don't even resolve it. It
Yeah.
just happens.
Like she confronts her dad and that's it. There's no follow up. And then also like her relationship with Brooklyn, as I was saying before, you can make something interesting with that of, you know, they used to be friends and they had this falling out and Brooklyn understands, but maybe Emily still feels a little bit guilty.
Right.
You can build something out of that. But yeah, no, they just don't have enough runtime for any of these characters to actually be as interesting as they should be. And Emily of the four main characters, she's the one who is in It Takes Two the least.
Ah.
Like Rafa is very much like the third lead, but he is the third lead of the show.
Okay.
Um, which speaking of him, we can just jump down to him. But yeah, Emily just does not show up all that much in It Takes Two. So you don't really get much of her character there either.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Rafa is he's the costume designer of this school or
Well,
something.
he's like a costume student that has to turn in
Yeah.
projects. But when he shows up, he's like, "Oh, is this the marine costume designer?" No, he's just
Yeah.
a student who's just there.
And he makes costumes for the Barbies, but not like for their show.
He's just
He
like,
just
I have this garbage. Here, take it.
yeah, which I don't know. He feels like the character that suffers the most from the short runtime,
Mm-hmm.
and that he has this arc about sort of realizing that his designs are actually good. But
We never get that.
no, it's 2 points, not an actual arc.
Hmm.
And
Well,
I would have liked to see more of him in the movie. He does get a lot more to do in the TV show. He's still kind of sidelined, but he actually has things to do rather than just sitting around. So yeah, the TV show has been sort of giving me more of his character. But yeah, I think part of the reason he's interesting is that he's clearly meant to be a queer character, but very much in that Disney way of like they're doing everything they can to not actually say it.
yeah, typical kid show thing.
Yep. He has a line about the only labels we believe in are designer, which is a very queer coded line.
Mm-hmm.
Um but yeah, I think the Cruella movie, which came out a few months before this movie, had a character who is a costume designer who pretty much says the exact same line. And there were a bunch of headlines about Disney's first ever gay character.
Sure, it is.
Which every time Disney has a gay character in a movie, it is their first. Disney has at this point had half a dozen, or no, more than that, a dozen first gay characters.
Remember that time where, like, any time a female lead was a thing, it's like, finally, we have a strong female character. And everybody's like, well, look at all the other ones that we've had for the past 30 years. Did you forget about them?
Yep. I mean, pretty much the same thing of like, you
Uh,
got to sell the movie somehow, so you're going to try and sell something.
Blue Beetle is the first character superhero to not want his powers, and it's like, bro, that's every superhero.
That's like the entire like Marvel thing.
That's the entire origin story of every single superhero.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Oh boy. I okay, so one thing about Rafa, and it's a thing that cartoon characters will often do,
Mm,
or just kids show characters in general, is
okay.
you know that they are Hispanic characters because they insert random Spanish words into their dialogue.
Yeah, they
And
do.
now, no sé si you're too familiar with it, but like there is definitely like people who switch entre inglés y español in the middle of talking,
Right.
but it always, I don't know, like yo puedo hacerlo since I speak both,
See,
but
yo no care.
yeah, it's like a party trick I do.
Spanglish.
Whereas when I'm actually like talking, there's certain words that I will be like, okay, this is one I'll say in Spanish because it sounds better in Spanish.
When I get frustrated, I'll start saying gibberish in Spanish.
Or even just like, in our family we don't call it pineapple, we call it piña.
Pina, yeah.
But for some reason, in whenever a character does it in a cartoon, it always feels like they want to be like, hey, this character is Hispanic, so they'll like always say hola instead of hello. Everyone else says hello, including the characters who are like, oh, here's the Chinese American character, that person says hello, but no, the Hispanic character says hola.
Hola, soy Dora.
Or and then it's like all of the other ones, it feels like the people are like, oh yeah, I took Spanish 201 in college, so let me swap out some words for Spanish,
Mm,
rather than actually the way someone would talk.
yeah. I mean, I call Fanta grape Fanta uva.
Yeah. Or like, yeah, there's just certain words that now we have different situations where we aren't Hispanic people who grew up in the US. We're United Statesians who grew up
Merkins.
in Latin
Merkins.
America.
Yeah,
So, but I don't know. It just it
yeah.
always, something always feels off about it to me.
None of it feels sincere or proper.
Yeah, like if it were specific words, then it would make more sense to me, rather than just being like the person went through Google Translate and put like every fifth word through Google Translate. It's worse in the show. In the movie,
Start
it
singing in
only like,
Spanish a little bit.
yeah. But yeah, anyway, I think his character is interesting.
Hmm.
Um,
But he does
kind of,
disappear at the
yeah,
end. I was surprised that we had no reaction towards him and his costumes on the big show.
yeah,
But apparently he fixed the button.
yeah. Which happens off screen,
Hmm.
and even like there's a scene which should happen, which is that Rafa shows the video to Emily, and Emily says, "You go show this to Brooklyn. I have someone to show this to." And the next
Who does
scene
she
is
show it to?
Brooklyn. Well, she shows it to her dad. The next
No,
scene
she
is
doesn't.
Brooklyn.
She just goes to her dad and complains
Oh,
about
yeah,
it.
no. But anyway, the scene I'm talking about, because the next scene is Brooklyn talking to the dean,
Yeah,
Rafa having shown her the video. There should have been the moment where Rafa shows her the video.
and Brooklyn realizing, yeah,
Yeah. And that gives Rafa a chance to have like a scene to be like, hey Brooklyn, look
you
at
messed
this.
up.
Yeah, not in that many words, though he is the kind of character who would confront her about it, based on how he is developed in the show, less so the movie.
Okay.
But like the kind of thing of like, hey, you need to see this, you need to fix this. Like, yeah, there's just, you could have done something there, but
Yeah.
The other characters, there's not much to say.
Not much to say. They're just token dean, token
Yeah,
father, overbearing father,
they
whatever.
serve a plot function and not much else.
Yep. Although we have a green-haired dude who loves his
Oh, the drum guy. Drum guy's cool.
yeah.
He just, yeah. I like that he's set up and then paid off.
Mm-hmm.
That there is an actual thing going on there. But yeah, I gave the characters a 4 out of 5 because I think the issue here is the story, not the characters.
Yeah. Well, I gave the characters a 3.5 because there's not a whole lot of them. And like characters like Emily and Rafa get pushed to the side, and so we're really just getting Brooklyn and Malibu. So yeah,
Yeah.
they're fine. They're fine.
So yeah, next up we have the animation,
Mm-hmm.
which is solid.
Pretty much what we've been getting the past few films.
It is interesting hopping over to It Takes Two. There is no change in animation quality
Mm-hmm.
at all, which indicates to me that this is like they spent the money that they would have spent on 3 episodes of It Takes Two
Right.
rather than this being like a movie, so they invest more in it.
Plus, at this point, they figured out the style
Yeah,
to just do it cost effectively
yeah,
and look good enough.
yeah. I do think there are a lot of interesting visual choices in like camera movement and camera angle and editing, but not all of them work as well as they should.
So there's this weird little edit transition where the Barbies are in the park. It's like, look at these costumes, and then they transition to them wearing the costumes while still in the park. Did they
Yeah,
change
they
costumes
just
in the
changed
park
in the park.
in front of those people sitting on the benches? Like, what happened there?
Yeah.
Also, like, none of those guitars are plugged into anything. Like, I'd
Yeah.
say that they were wireless, but there's nothing wireless plugged into that too. So,
Yeah, they something about the editing felt a bit off,
mhm.
so that a lot of the scenes just felt like a little bit stilted.
Sometimes, yeah.
And I mean, part of that might be other things, but just certain moments didn't quite hit.
Mm-hmm.
It's I don't know. I feel like the last time I noticed this was way back for like Starlight Adventure, where there's just like the timing is just a tiny bit off on some of the edits. So it feels a little bit odd watching it.
Okay.
But yeah, I can't I mean editing is kind of a subjective thing of like where do you put the edit? So that was just kind of the sense I was getting watching it.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say when the animation works, it really does work well. Like it captures that big city feel.
Yeah. What with the big dreams?
Well, there's a dream which we'll talk about in a second.
Ah.
But just that like the buildings and the streets and the subways and everything. And they don't like they kind of Barbie-fy it, but like the subway stairs still feel a little bit grimy.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not sanitized. I'm not sure if it's capturing the New York feel, but it is capturing that like
Yeah.
big city feel.
Yeah. I didn't see the city and think, that's New York.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's a big city.
It
I don't
feels
see any
more
monuments, but it's a big
yeah.
city.
It feels more like Toronto just in terms of the way the light works, which makes sense because a lot of the team behind this is Canadian.
Yeah, that and they work in Toronto and
Yeah.
Vancouver, so
So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the city that this is based on more than New York.
might as well be.
Yeah, that's my theory.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't actually been to New York, so I don't know. Maybe New York feels like this, but this just felt too like
Oh no, New York is much more grimy.
well, not even just the grime, but like the light and the buildings.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, I do like because we haven't had many city Barbie movies.
Yeah, we had one attempt, which was Fashion Fairy Tale.
Yep, that was Paris, which is a very different kind of
But
city.
even before we had Barbie or Ken in the US getting to the airport.
Oh yeah, which those city scenes were a little bit more
So,
darker.
yeah, darker,
I think they
pink
took
as
place at
well.
night, so that yeah, Paris was very pink,
Mm,
especially in Very Secret.
yeah, pink.
Okay, so quick note on the It Takes Two series. Brooklyn lives in a brownstone house, and Malibu goes to live with her for the series, so they don't have to pay for the dorms.
What?
And it's like
Okay.
these iconic brownstone houses that you're like, oh, which one does Barbie's family live in? And it's like, oh, there's one that's pink. Okay, it's like they're brownstones. Why is there a pink one?
Why is Brooklyn wearing pink when her color is clearly blue?
Why? Yeah, that bothered me in the show every time they cut to the house and it's pink.
Hmm.
It's like, no, why?
It's the wrong Barbie.
Well, and it's the wrong color. It's
Yeah,
a
it's the wrong Barbie
brownstone, not a
color.
pink stone,
Yeah.
not a blue stone either. It's a brownstone.
How toyetic can you get?
oh, oh, that's actually probably it. You're right. They do have a brick wall in their room that feels very nice. And it's actually like brick colored, not pink.
Right, yeah.
Anyway, I did want to talk about the opening of the movie,
Yes,
which
very
is
interesting.
it's in black and white except for Barbie
Well,
and Barbie's car.
it's in blue and light.
Or yeah. It's monochrome.
It's monochrome blue,
Yeah.
but with pink for Barbie.
And yeah, I don't know, it's just so creative and something we've never seen from any of these Barbie
And you
movies.
can clearly tell like who you're supposed to follow that way
Yeah.
too.
And I don't know, it invites you into the movie.
Hmm. It reminded me of the first volume of Ruby,
Okay.
where they were low budget, and so all the background characters were just void color,
Yeah.
just shadow silhouettes, and our main characters were properly colored, and so you can
Yeah.
tell who's an important character because of the shadows, which they fixed when they got a budget.
Yeah. And it builds up to a joke, which is like, oh, I've probably shown it you, the clip from House of Gucci.
Oh, the House of Gucci, yes.
where
I was actually thinking of that when I saw that. I was like, ah,
where Paolo Gucci, who's played by Jared Leto
yes.
in a
She
lot of
opens her
makeup.
mouth and it's the car honking or
Yeah,
something.
which is the most hilarious transition in House of Gucci. So I was very happy to see it here.
Which came first?
I think oh, when did House of Gucci come out? It's
I
like
think
they're
it's
within
around
a
the same
month.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're within a month or something.
Oh boy. This is a very exciting revelation.
Okay. Everyone's on pins and needles
We're on
here.
pins and needles. Who came first, the chicken or the egg? The Gucci or the Bobby? And the answer
November
is
9, 2021.
oh, Barbie's the
Yep.
original. Oh,
Barbie started it. House of Gucci.
snap.
Ridley Scott copying Barbie.
Oh, Ridley. It's Jared Leto for you, too.
That movie is insane. I'm going to
Yes.
stop myself from going off on that movie, but
Yeah, the animation is the animation, I
yeah,
gave it a 3.8 because that's how the past few have been, so.
I gave it a 4. I think that opening segment bumps up the score.
I wish the opening lasted longer. But yes.
Yes. I wish there was more of that energy throughout the rest of the movie. There's a
Mm-hmm.
few scenes like the spirit dancing of Malibu and Brooklyn during their breakup song.
Okay.
Anyway, onto the voice acting.
Onto the voice acting.
It's solid.
Solid, yeah.
Um, we have in addition to returning voices, we have. Oh, this is really poorly laid out. Amber
Yeah.
May plays Brooklyn,
Mm-hmm.
and she's done a lot of like dubbing work for anime and for games. Um, this is she actually only plays Brooklyn in this movie. There's someone else who plays
Mm.
Brooklyn in the show.
Interesting.
Same with Rafa, who's here played by Alejandro Saab.
Oh.
So yeah, uh, everyone else. I mean, everyone is good. I think my one complaint is that some of the dialogue feels a bit stilted,
Yeah, it
and
is.
I think that has more to do with the editing than the performances,
It can be too. Or just the dialogue coaching.
or honestly the lines,
Yeah, the lines too, yeah.
which
It's yeah.
these were probably recorded remotely.
Definitely for COVID.
So
Most of them
yeah,
were.
so I think there might be like things that they like you said the coaching. If you have the coach in the room with you, that's kind of a different.
Uh it's a voice director or
Yeah, or yeah, having the person present there rather
yeah.
than over a Zoom call can be a different thing. Which I mean, I think generally it's pretty much indistinguishable whether it was like recorded remotely or not. But here
Perhaps.
it feels, as long as they have a good audio setup. Sometimes you could
Hmm.
hear like the tinniness or like a little bit of echo that they had to suppress.
Probably, yeah.
But yeah, the overall good voice acting.
Yeah. 3.5, you know.
Yep,
It's
I gave it a 4.
yeah, nothing amazing, but it's here.
Yep.
Do you know what's
Yeah.
good about this film?
The music.
The music.
Yeah.
I like the music.
This is another musical. It's been a
Mm-hmm.
while since we've had a musical.
And one that I appreciate.
Yeah. The songs are good.
They're boppers, yeah.
Yeah. So some of them are, there's the one song that halfway through they have the like mandatory rap portion.
Yeah, was that with Rafa?
Rafa, yeah.
Yeah.
The ethnic minority character must now do the rap.
Mm-hmm. But what was it? The Grind? Is that what this song's called?
The Work It, the
Uh,
one.
the one where Barbie is doing her stuff.
I think
So
that's Work It. I
the
don't
montage of her
of her
trying to get
yeah.
better.
Yeah, I
Okay,
think
yeah,
that's Work It.
yeah. No. Uh, apparently, I watched that clip before we started all this.
Oh.
I don't remember what context it was, but like that song was like, huh, the song seems familiar. Actually, all this footage looks familiar. Have I seen this clip before? So I don't know when or where I listened to this or watched this clip, but I did. And here we go. We've come full
Yeah.
circle, I guess.
It's a good song.
It is a good song. It's a good montage too, properly done.
Yep. Yeah.
Good
Oh.
use of a montage.
Yeah. I liked all of the songs except the rap portion of the like I don't have an issue with rap or rap in pop, but it felt a
I've
little
heard
bit
worse.
perfunctory. Yeah.
I've heard worse, but
I've
it's
heard better
fine.
and I've heard worse, and
Yeah.
it's a trope in music and specifically musicals that I'm not a fan of. It always feels
Yes.
like they're trying to go for Hamilton, but like you either go for Hamilton or you don't go for Hamilton. You don't
With a
do
little bit of
Hamilton
Latin
for
pop in there.
yeah, you don't do Hamilton for like 30 seconds.
I can't I can't say anything about that, but okay.
Hamilton is nice, and the things that are inspired by it aren't always as
Never
nice.
watched it.
It's on Disney Plus.
I don't have that right now.
It's good. It's worth. You're a theater person.
Yeah,
It
hey,
feels
I
like
don't like musicals, Matthew.
I know, but this is
It's overrated.
Hamilton.
I believe it's overrated.
You haven't seen it. I
I
thought it was
know.
overrated too until I watched it, and then I was like, okay, fine, it is correctly rated.
Mm-hmm.
It's as someone who doesn't like musicals, it works really well.
Mm-hmm.
You should at the very least watch it for like
You know, if you
who
force
have
me like
watched
this,
it.
I'm gonna like it even less.
I'm not going to force you to watch it, but
Mhm.
I would recommend it.
I know you would.
It's good. Even just
So would
listening to some of the
any
songs.
casual theater person would.
I'm not even a theater person. I'm just like,
I don't think I don't think theater people really like Hamilton.
oh, interesting.
At least not in my department.
Okay. I don't interact a ton with theater people, so I wouldn't know much about that.
Honestly, I don't care. But anyway, the music of this film was fine. I liked it. I would
Yeah.
listen to it.
I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. That's partially just giving it extra credit for being a musical.
Yeah, I gave it a 4, which is good.
Yeah, that leaves my final score as a 19.5 out of 25, which is a 78% or a 3.9 on our 5-star scale.
Yeah, mine's a 17.8, which is a 71.2%, and a 3.56 5-star rating. Nice.
Yeah. It's an improvement
It's an improvement. Could
on the
have been
last
better.
couple. Yeah.
It was almost better, actually. But
Yeah. But
it's
yeah,
hubris.
we I don't know. I think it's just they felt like they had to do the animated movie plot. And they did the animated movie plot and it didn't quite fit.
Right.
But
Look
yeah.
where we are now.
We are 39 movies in.
Mm.
We are getting there.
Getting there slowly but surely.
Yep.
But don't call me Shirley.
Well, anyway, thank you everyone for listening. Make sure to follow us on social media. We are Binging Barbie Podcast on Instagram, at Binging Barbie on Twitter, and Binging Barbie, a Barbie movie podcast on Letterboxd. And we will be back next week, actually with an episode on the 2019 film Lady Bird, which is going to be part of our bonus series on the films of Greta Gerwig. And then following that, we will be back with an episode on Mermaid Power, which is the first Barbie movie to have been released since we started this podcast. And it is not the last. In the year we have been doing this podcast,
So
there have
were
been
we caught
multiple.
up to when we first started?
Yes, we are now currently caught up to when we started.
Oh boy.
This was when we started recording the first episode. This was
We
the
should be
most recent
proud.
Barbie movie.
We're so proud,
Yeah.
aren't we? Pat
No,
ourselves on the back.
we did know about Mermaid Power before we started.
We did.
But yeah. Anyway, we will be back soon to talk about all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. See you then.
Bye.